This is the Pop Tournaments podcast. In Pop Tournaments, we take a category of pop culture and let you, the fans, vote on matchups in a single elimination tournament format to determine an ultimate champion. We are here to discuss those results and the upcoming matchups. Thanks to our great community and everybody who votes, let's start the show. Hello. This is the Pop Tournaments podcast, episode 42, Life, the Universe, Everything. The answer to the greatest question
it is.
there is. Well, so far, we haven't talked enough about books on this podcast for
I've been
42
trying.
episodes.
I bring out the books for the questions and records.
You've pulled your weight.
I'm trying to make us more literate here.
You know me, I don't like to read. I'm just kidding. I actually love reading. But all my favorite books are a bunch of
magazines,
cliches, and so yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we're off to a smashing start. That is our wonderful co-host Ryan Barrett.
What's happening, everybody?
And our other co-host Jennifer Schmidt.
Hi, friends.
And I'm like the 33, or no. I'm the what is it? Yeah. Oh shit, no. You guys are like the 33 and a half, and I'm like the 33%.
Yeah.
Co-host. I'm Jake Wicker. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. It's April 5th, 2021, and man, at least if you're in Minnesota right now, it is absolutely beautiful out. I hope everybody out there in the PTU, I invented that today, that's the Pop Tournaments universe,
Yep, I like it.
is doing well, or Pop Tart universe. Ryan, how's it been going, man?
Really good. I fully back to normal health now after 2 weeks of being under the weather. So that feels good. Feel like a human being.
You're on top
again.
of the weather now.
I'm on top of the weather. I'm like Zeus. But everything's going great. I've had a nice weekend. It was pretty chill. We watched some movies. We watched the new Godzilla versus Kong movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was pretty lukewarm on, but, it was fun to watch like a first run movie. It's always fun, during these dire times to be able to watch something new and something that's in the zeitgeist. Ding.
Ding.
But so that was fun.
I got a quick question on that.
Yeah.
Will the eventual parody be titled Godzilla versus Dong?
The porn parody?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Also
it will be a spin-off of Dong Skull Island. But we also, like, through the last week, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not on the podcast, but this, like, my favorite thing I've watched all week was Into the Storm, the QAnon documentary.
you did not mention this, no.
Really, really good. We just inhaled it. It's 6 episodes. It's all out now on HBO. But really, really good. One of my favorite doc series that I've seen in a while. Because it's kind of like a mystery, because you're kind of trying to figure out, the filmmaker's kind of trying to, like, figure out the truth behind who Q is. But then it's also kind of going in depth on, like, what QAnon is, what they believe, stuff like that. And it's really, like, one thing that I think is kind of a breath of fresh air, despite my politics, is I enjoy when a topic like this is kind of presented in like a neutral, presentation. It's not like, oh, look at these dumbasses. Right. You know what I mean? Even though I'm sure the filmmaker is probably liberal, because most filmmakers are. They're not like roasted. You know what I mean? It's kind of just all put out as like factual information, you know? There's not a ton of bias.
Anything that might seem like it's unfair treatment is brought on by themselves.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Which there is plenty of. But
hey, I'm just glad they blurred my face out.
Yeah. They said the QAnon Don, and it's just Jake in a dark room with a super deep voice.
Right.
But yeah.
Sorry.
Highly recommend.
Awesome.
Definitely have to check that out. Have you been dipping your toes anywhere else? Yeah,
well, I've been watching some classics, quote unquote, in preparation for the next tournament, which we're kind of mum about right now. I'm not going to say too much, but I will say that over the last week I watched A Beautiful Mind, and I've watched Platoon. And I'm about halfway through Out of Africa right now. So if you can,
that's a long one.
If you can find the connective tissue between those three movies.
Okay, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Jen, it's been a while. We're so happy
I'm
you're
happy to
back.
be back.
We had a lot of fun with Missy Suvdi last week. Great performance, but I am so glad to have you back. I'm excited to hear how the birthday was, how your trip was. Have you been up to anything else besides all those exciting things? What's been going on?
Oh, it's all good. So I'm 39 now, so that's something.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good. I watched the movie Bad Education when I was on the airplane. And it was
That's a good movie.
Very good. Yeah, definitely recommend. Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney. So, right there, it's going to be interesting based on a true story. It moves well. It's pretty, straightforward, really engaging. So, recommend that one. And I finally started What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, nice.
I know, went way behind on it, but it's delightful. And
did you watch the movie first?
No, I was told to watch the show first and then watch the movie.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what Ryan's wife, Rebecca, told me to do.
Nice.
Did how far along are you?
Only 4 episodes.
So
I saw the one with Nick Kroll in it when they go to Nick Kroll's club.
Nice.
Downtown.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good one. It was recently announced that the spin-off show that's already aired 2 seasons in Australia will be coming to HBO
excellent.
Max, I believe.
The werewolves one?
Yeah, well, it's the one about the police officers that are very bumbling and not smart. They encounter werewolves and other such crazy beings. Cool. Did you have a good trip?
I did.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off there.
No. I'm good. Yes, I did. It was very relaxing. But now I'm back in Minnesota, and no one is bringing me Bellinis for breakfast, and I don't know what kind of bullshit this is.
I'm sorry? What? Tell me like I'm 5.
I just got very used to Bellinis. I've discovered are even better than mimosas and a great breakfast drink. And I want those every day. So they also.
What's a Bellini?
It's like a peach. It's champagne and peach juice.
You got me at peach.
Yeah, it's very tasty. So
Love
highly
peach.
recommend. Yeah.
Great flavoring. Y'all should experiment with your coffee.
Yeah.
Peach actually
peach
does
and
work
coffee?
in some things.
Interesting.
And your tea.
Yeah, I love peach and tea, and in your prosecco. Now I know. So Yep.
Good.
But
I'm
it's
glad,
all good.
I'm glad
Yeah.
the trip was relaxing, and I'm glad you're in the 39 club with us.
I
now.
am. Yep.
It's
Yeah,
fun-
I know.
it's-
I joined the club right after Ryan
Yeah.
left it. But
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, it's been a beautiful weekend around here. I got to putz around a little bit outside. Spring has sprung. Baseball started, so that's why I got my White Sox hat on.
oh, yep.
To support my team. Ryan, do you remember these lightning bolts hats from the early
Yeah.
90s?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe I found this thing. But yeah, I also was watching some classic movies this weekend. It's funny, I also watched Platoon, Ryan. It'll be interesting to chat about that movie. I watched Unforgiven.
Oh, that's
That
Oh,
was,
I'm excited to watch that. I've never seen that.
and I had I had remembered just a couple of scenes from when my parents had rented and watched it, and I have opinions on that one,
Oh, okay.
good and bad. But yeah, otherwise, while I was putzing around, I was listening to a lot of music on the radio this weekend, and reminded that it was First Avenue's 51st
Awesome.
anniversary with a lot of the tunes they were playing, and it made me think of many trips to First Avenue. My first one ever, it's funny that we're talking about this on this episode or during this time. My first one ever was Dave Navarro, who actually
Of Ink Master fame.
Yeah, he was married to Carmen Electra,
They had a
Former-
reality show on MTV. Oh, where they
former
were first
girlfriend
married.
of one Prince.
Yeah.
Purple Yoda.
Uh-huh.
I also had a poster of Carmen Electra in my room when I was a teenager.
That checks out.
It's all coming together.
Yep.
But Jen, have you ever had the pleasure of seeing a show at First Avenue?
I have, yeah. Like me and my husband Steve, like our first, like kind of like bigger, like plan ahead date, like when we had just started dating, but when you like buy concert tickets, together, like 2 months down the road, that's kind of a big deal. So
It's serious at that point.
And so we saw OK Go. So
nice.
there, yeah, yep, stood right along the railing on the top level. And it was fun when we were watching Purple Rain a couple weeks ago. We're like, oh, we stood right there when we saw OK Go. And then I also saw Lily Allen there for my
very
birthday.
nice.
Yep, a couple years ago. So, well, God, 15 years ago now, 12 years ago. So, something like that. But yeah, she was fantastic too. So, I've only seen, amazing shows at First Ave, for sure.
Sister of Theon Greyjoy.
Uh-huh,
Oh, yeah.
she is. She has a song about him, about how he needs to get a job and just stop masturbating all the time.
Whoa. Hey, we'll get to that when we talk about Darling Nikki, all right?
All right.
Ryan, do you have a first or a favorite or a couple you'd like to mention?
I honestly don't remember my first Avenue show. I feel like it was probably, we talked about it last week, talking about the local artists, but I'm sure it was probably the Rhymesayers Collective shows.
Atmosphere or something.
and Idea and Abilities and all those guys. But some of my favorites that I can remember, just to name a few, in 98, I saw Outkast at First Avenue.
Oh, cool.
Damn!
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I was also going to ask, is there any big ones
Yep.
that you saw before? Oh, man.
I saw Outkast at First Avenue in 98. That was on the Equimini tour. I saw Erykah Badu in 2003 there.
Wow.
And then I saw White Stripes there in 2002
Oh, cool.
in the White Blood Cells tour. And it was really cool. Like, well, first of all, I just wanted to say, kind of to circle back to what Jenny was saying about being along the railing. My spot was always underneath the staircase on like stage left or whatever, if you're looking at the
Okay.
stage.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Because like nobody would like know you could go underneath there. You would like climb through the railings, and you could just like have your own little space.
Have your own personal space. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
good sight lines.
Yep. So I was under the stairs for a lot of shows, but Erykah Badu, I remember for sure I was under the stairs for. But the White Stripes show, I remember I was over by the pool tables back when they had the pool table area.
Oh,
Yep.
Over on the right side of the stage. And I never even knew because everybody always comes up like kind of from the backstage area. So you never really see where anybody comes from. But we're like standing next to the pool table. All of a sudden, Jack and Meg White like walk out like right next to us, like into that pool table area, not like straight out of the green room onto the stage. And they like walk through the crowd kind of onto the stage. And it was like, I was like had such an enormous crush on Meg White at the time, and like really both of them. I was just like enamored with them. They had just come out, you know, like White Blood Cells just came out, and I was just kind of obsessed with them. So like just standing there and all of a sudden seeing these two larger than life figures just like walk right in front of me, and I was like, oh! But yeah, so those are a few highlights.
That's really cool. I asked her before she went on a little bike ride. My beautiful, wonderful, awesome girlfriend Kaylee got to see Coldplay there.
Oh, no kidding!
Right as they were like, it was like when Yellow first came out.
Yeah,
and just getting huge, but. A couple of weird, and then we saw Hosier there together. That was one of the first gifts she ever gave me. Awesome gift. My most pretentious one I have to bring up and lay out before you. I saw Modest Yahoo at First Ave. It was one of those shows that like sold out immediately, and that was me. Like, and he was a good artist, and I don't get me wrong, I was into it, but it was one of those things that was like, hey, have you heard of this Hasidic Jew that does reggae rap? I'm into that. Like, isn't that crazy?
That's my identity now. Is into this.
Oh, but I think the biggest I ever got to see was the Foo Fighters did a special club tour for their fourth album release. This was back when you could still like stand in line for tickets.
Oh gosh,
Mervin's, California. But incredible show. I mean, they were kind of really hitting their peak again, and definitely a fun show. So happy anniversary to First Ave. Wonderful. Always voted one of the top venues in the United States. So, and the guy who really put them on the map.
Yep.
We're talking about Prince. That's a segue for you.
It's perfect.
So we're in the second round now. Yesterday, I don't think we have to spend too much time. We had Purple Rain beating "Take Me With You," both from the Purple Rain album. It was, I guess, about as close as I expected it to be. Did either of you see this going any way differently? I thought there was a chance "Take Me With You" might.
Yeah, I was wondering if, like, because we've heard Purple Rain so much, if it's getting into that, like, overplayedness, but apparently not. But I do love Purple Rain. I don't love Purple Rain. We just, like, watched the movie a couple weeks ago, and, like, I don't think I love Purple Rain as much as, like, everyone in the movie apparently loves Purple Rain. Like, that just cracked me up. He sings that, and everyone's, like, crying, and it's like, all right. Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, but let's pull it together, people.
I was hoping it was going to be closer, and I thought it was going to. Like, I remember I was talking to Rebecca on our way out to our Easter brunch thingy, with family yesterday, and I said, like, oh, Purple Rain has its first, like, real... competition today.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close. And then it was like an hour later. It was like, oh, nope, never mind.
False alarm. It's not going to be close.
But yeah, I wished it would have been closer because I like Take Me With You.
Yeah, I like that
one a lot. I think better. But
I think that's the one I put on the playlists more, just because it's it's a fun song.
And it was a fun matchup, you know, as we talked about in the copy. These songs were both actually, and I thought this was really weird, written for different people. And I think, Ryan, I might have surprised you with this. Purple Rain was actually originally arranged as a country song written for Stevie Nicks.
Oh.
And she was too overwhelmed with trying to write lyrics to it.
Yeah. Okay.
That she said, no, take this back. And I mean, again, we wouldn't have had the movie. I mean, maybe, but what would the movie have been called?
When Doves Cry.
When Doves Cry probably would have been.
The movie would have been called Erotic City.
But yeah, Take Me With You, such a fun song. But that was originally written for. Now I'm drawing a blank. Was it Vanity 6 or was it Apollonia?
I think it said Apollonia in the copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
But so fun matchup. I love when the tournament does that. And then today we've got a really close one. You want to talk about close ones right now?
Yeah.
While we're recording this, we have Raspberry Beret going up against Nothing Compares to You. I'm on Nothing Compares to You side.
Me too.
Same.
Jen?
Yeah, no,
Me
this
too.
is like a battle of like my least favorite Prince song versus my favorite Prince song. I think Raspberry Beret is just like corny and gimmicky, and I love Nothing Compares to You, and I'm really sad. Yeah, that it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan?
I mean, I think Raspberry Beret is a great song. It's not one of my favorites, and Nothing Compares to You, I think, is just brilliant. It is, and I wonder if this isn't... I feel like if Nothing Compares to You was a Prince song, if it was on Purple Rain, let's say, for instance.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be one of the great Prince songs of all time.
You just blew my mind.
The fact that it's, like, not a Prince song, essentially, is probably what's handicapping it to the level it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, say he sells Stevie Nicks the music to Purple Rain, and Nothing Compares to You is the last song in that movie?
No. Because that was written in 1984, so it was like...
No? Wow,
I mean,
I didn't know it was that old.
I don't know if it was written during the Purple Rain sessions or after.
Right.
But, I mean...
Wow.
That could have been I just what could have... Whew. Got a little steamy in here for a second. Speaking of steamy,
No.
you want to take a steamy bath? We got When Doves Cry versus Delirious. And Jen, I know that you love a good music video. That was the steamy bath reference there.
Nice animated teardrop.
What do you like here? I have a feeling I know where you're gonna go, but I want to hear where you're gonna go.
Me?
Yeah, When Doves Cry versus Delirious.
Delirious is one of the songs I've learned about through this tournament, and I love it. And voting Delirious over When Doves Cry and really hoping for it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Surprising take. But...
Yeah, I think overall for the Pop-Tarts out there, this is going to be... Ryan, kind of like you said about Purple Rain versus Take Me With You, I think this is going to be close.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people hold Delirious in high regard, but what do you think?
I don't know. I think When Doves Cry is going to be... I think it's going to move on. I don't know how close it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that of all the songs on Purple Rain, When Doves Cry is kind of like the people's champ. You know what I mean? I think that's the song more than Let's Go Crazy, more than Purple Rain. I think that's the song that's like the classic from that album.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I honestly think that's probably going to win the whole tournament.
Well, so it's got... I don't want to waste too many of them, because if it does go on, we'll have a little bit more to talk about. But no, I don't want to waste too many facts, but it's weird. It was his first #1 hit, it was the first single released off of Purple Rain, but in the entire process of putting the album together, well, I shouldn't say putting the album together, but when the songs were created, it was the last one he wrote.
Oh, okay.
After the movie had been filmed. That was another weird thing, is that not all the music was written before the movie was filmed. I can understand some of it.
That's funny because the song seems to really be like line up with the plot of the movie, sort of, It seems to fit really well with the movie, which makes me think that he probably kind of based the song on the movie, sort of,
Yep, that's why, yeah.
It's actually about his relationship with Suzanne Moonsey of Vanity Six.
Oh, interesting.
Like that. So it would, again, looking at a lot of these songs and where their basis came from, Taylor Swift just ripped off Prince. Prince was the guy writing about all of his relationships and all the different people he was with. Taylor Swift is just and now everybody's throwing her under the bus.
Right, I'm like, she's the one that's getting like slut shamed for it.
No, that's stupid. Yeah, this is just a tried and true, tradition.
I do want to say quick before we get off of Vanity, have you guys seen the movie The Last Dragon, starring Vanity?
Not yet.
The lead singer of Vanity Six. It's incredible. You should watch it, and we should also I think it would be great fodder for a Pop Tournaments movie night, because it is It's directed by Barry Gordy, who also directed The Wiz and also made Motown. So I mean, it's very much like it's a pop culture movie. You may recognize some references that, because it's even though it was kind of niche in the 80s, it's become culturally relevant since then, I think, amongst people our age. I've seen a lot of references to it in different, mediums, but great movie. It's like a kung fu movie, but it's all black people essentially in the, in most of the cast.
Cool.
And it's also kind of a musical. And
I'm still on board.
Yeah,
but
I'm more on board.
It's a kung fu musical.
I'm here for it.
Okay, now I'm really on board.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Are you talking like a Saturday night watch along?
Yeah.
That would be great.
We could a little Facebook interaction.
That sounds incredible. We could do we could even record a podcast that people can listen to while they're watching The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We could make a document of it, so it's not just like a one and done thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And also, we love to hear what everybody else thinks. So that's a great idea. Thank you. The Last Dragon. All right. Speaking of dragons, has nothing to do with this next matchup, but we have Kiss versus maybe who wants to kiss a dragon? That's your versus Darling Nikki. I am GD torn on this one for sure. Kiss was Prince's third song to go to number one. And funny thing, Warner Brothers didn't even want to release it as a single.
No kidding.
Really?
No effing kidding.
Wow.
Going up against Darling Nikki from Purple Rain, probably definitely one of my favorite songs from that album. I mean, I have a weird ranking of those songs from that album. So, Ryan, we'll toss to you first here.
I'm going Darling Nikki on this one. Kiss is one of those songs that I can appreciate. Kind of like Raspberry Beret. To me, I feel like I can appreciate Kiss, but I've just heard it so many times. It's really hard to think of it as something more than
that band from Detroit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it's Darling Nikki is just like a groundbreaking song, and you know, it's so cool. It really plays with like genre so much, as well as like lyrically being really you know, pushing the envelope. So
I got you.
yeah, I think Darling Nikki.
Oh, you're
Darling Nikki's my favorite of this quadrant at this point remaining. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for moving on to the final four. But we'll see. I think Kiss has the upper hand. So
your arguments are sound. Jen, agree or disagree?
I kind of think the opposite. I feel like Darling Nikki has the upper hand in this. I mean, we saw that, first of all, like all the Purple Rain songs like dominated the first round. And I feel like this is, you know, one of Prince's most important songs. It has like a very important like place in, you know, pop music like canon, you know, for the 80s. So, but I just like Kiss a lot more. That was like my favorite Prince song coming into this, and I'm hoping for that one. But I feel like Darling Nikki like has the momentum and will probably take it.
we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be a close matchup.
Yeah, I think this will. I think this will be one of the closer matchups of the second round. And I like the way the tournament played out here. And you got they're definitely very, very sexual songs, but Darling Nikki being the less risque, or the more risque, and Kiss kind of being the less risque. Yet the more risque one was released earlier in his career. So. After that, or jumping back over to the other side, we're going to have If I Was Your Girlfriend going up against I Want to Be Your Lover. And again, I love a great matchup, you know, kind of hypotheticals going up against each other. Ryan, I know you've been so into If I Was Your Girlfriend, but I'm definitely going to be voting for I Want to Be Your Lover. It was kind of, you know, it was his. It only made it to 11 on the charts, but it was his first like big single. I absolutely love it. But how you feeling? This is you torn, or are you all?
I'm very
over?
torn. This one's like one gives me brain freeze. I think I have to go with If I Was Your Girlfriend, just because, you know, I think it's kind of the underdog. But this is a really, really tough one. I love both songs so much. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I got you, Jen. You've now listened to them?
I have. I like them both. I'd put them about equal for me. So I'll probably like vote for whichever one isn't winning in that point, because I'm happy either way.
Chaos.
Like they're both great. So I just want it to be close.
This is definitely whoever wins here. There's no losers. They're both great. Whoever wins will have to take on Purple Rain. So there is that. After I do want to mention, it's funny, If I Was Your Girlfriend, supposedly, I mean, there are references on the Wikipedia page, and I've seen other articles about it, but supposedly it's a song about Prince being jealous of Wendy's twin sister, who he was engaged to at the time. I started to bring this up on a previous episode and didn't, but that's kind of the basis of the song, is they had a very close, as they should, close relationship, and you know, Wendy was in his band. I believe her name was Shannon, was his fiance. You know, I can kind of understand that's a weird thing to deal with, but also back off, Prince. I don't know. After that, we're gonna
quick. Speaking of If I Was Your Girlfriend, just in case we don't get back to it, like in case it gets eliminated. Every time I see that, even though I love this song so much and I've listened to it so much over the last few weeks, month, whatever, Every time I see the title, I always get the song "If I Was Your Girl" by Janet Jackson stuck in my head.
Same.
Yeah, that little breakdown where it goes boop 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 boop. It's,
You can never have a bad
classic
boop, boop,
Janet.
boop, boop.
I think from the album
Definitely.
Janet, or was that the name of it? I don't know. That was
I
like
have
my
no
favorite
idea.
Janet
Just
Jackson
smiling
album.
and nodding.
It's the one with the hands.
You can
the
pick a
hands on the
favorite?
boobs.
How can you pick a favorite? I'm just kidding. After that, we're going to have I Would Die For You from Purple Rain going up against Cream from Diamonds and Pearls. I loved that Cream was the single right after Get Off. We're just gonna keep putting these type of songs out.
Yep.
No, this is all you're getting.
Yep.
That was fun. I honestly, I think I'm gonna be leaning Cream, but Jen, what do you think? It was, and Cream was very close.
That was the closest matchup I think of the tournament.
Closest first round. Yeah, and it got by 3 votes.
And who did it
I
beat?
think.
Oh, 1999.
Yeah,
was a big upset.
that's right.
That is a
Yep, that's right.
Giant killer. So where are you falling, Jen?
Yeah, I'm falling Cream.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one more. So.
I
Yep.
love the support there. Ryan? How do you
I'm
feel?
definitely going I Would Die For You.
Okay.
Again, I don't mean to just like pick everything from Purple Rain, but this, I love this song so much, and I not a huge fan of Cream. I voted for Cream over 1999.
1999, right.
But that was one of those matchups where I just didn't really. Those were 2 of the songs I liked the least in the tournament. This one's easy for me. I Would Die For You.
Okay.
I would die for this
It is-
song.
Whoa. Well, it's funny. So like everybody always, or at least I remember at the time, people being really surprised when he took a little bit of a religious turn in his music making and what he was doing with his life. It was right there from the beginning. This song, I Would Die For You, definitely has some very religious and subtle Christian undertones to it. In the lyrics, it really is kind of almost like a rewording of like the kind of like the basis of a Jesus idea. I would die for you.
Right.
Like at one point in the song, I believe it says it doesn't matter if you're bad. I would die for you. So fun fact: the B-side to "I Would Die For You" was Prince's only Christmas song, "Another Lonely Christmas," which was only performed live once in 1984 at the St. Paul Civic Center.
Oh, wow.
I believe sometime around Christmas they play it on The Current, because they did finally release a version of it. But yeah, just a fun little fact there. Another Purple Rain song. We're gonna have the Beautiful Ones up against Little Red Corvette, and this I think is going to be one of those like. I think it's really close, and I think the voting's going to be close, but it could still be close, and it's just a landslide. I don't know. I know what I'm going to be voting for, but Jen?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Little Red Corvette is gonna win it.
Okay.
Yeah, the other isn't one of the big songs from Purple Rain. A Little Red Corvette is one of Prince's, like, one of the songs I was certainly most familiar with and thought of first. So
His first top 10 single
yeah,
was Little Red Corvette, so
I feel like that.
Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna drive right through to the next round.
well, she You're on it. I love it. It is a really fun pop song, right? Ryan, what do you think here?
I agree 100% that, out of like all the big Prince hits like 1999, Raspberry Beret,
Yeah.
Kiss. This one I like the most. Like, this one I enjoy listening to all the time. Like, I'm not sick of it. I could hear it over and over again. I always love it. That being said, Beautiful Ones is probably my favorite song on Purple Rain. So
Yeah, that checks out.
I'm going Beautiful Ones, but it's a tough one. I think this is going to be a really tough matchup, really close matchup, hopefully.
Yeah, and you know what? So Beautiful Ones is going to be the last one. I didn't want to mention when we talked about the other songs, but there were 3 songs on Purple Rain that were arranged, composed, and performed. Like everything was done by Prince. Like those studio versions. He played all the instruments. The other 2 were When Doves Cry and Darling Nikki, and the Beautiful Ones. Just absolutely amazing song. My dream matchup, and I know, this will never happen in the Pop Tournaments universe, but like if we had all the people that were friends with Prince and the Prince experts, I would love to see the Beautiful Ones up against Nothing Compares to You, like in some sort of weird scenario, and just see how that would go. But I agree completely with what you said, Ryan. It's my number 1 or number 2 song off of Purple Rain, but I agree with what you said, Jen. I love Little Red Corvette. Like, it's such a fun pop song. It's so good.
I'm excited for when we do our car songs tournament to see how it fares. I mean, to put it up against like Little Deuce Coupe.
Yep.
Can I make a suggestion for that? Can one half of the tournament be songs about cars, and the other half be songs by the cars?
I like it. I thought you were going to say the other half be all about trucks.
Beep, beep, honk, honk.
Yep.
Little inside pool there. I mean, you don't want an outdoor pool. Then you have to, it's more maintenance. Our last matchup of the second round, we have Seven from 1992 up against our last Purple Rain song, Let's Go Crazy. It was his second number 1 hit. Big banger. Seven, again, delving into that religious area, a little bit ambiguous. And I will say it's another song where he was involved with somebody in the song. I always feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Mayte, I think it's Mayte. I don't think it's pronounced Maitai. It was Mayte. His former wife, his first marriage. But yeah, she was the belly dancer in the video for Seven. And another cool thing, Ryan, I think you'll enjoy. The Edge from U2 married the belly dancer from She Moves in Mysterious Ways, as we learned on the You Talking U2 to Me podcast.
Yeah. Belly dancers get all the rock stars.
If you want an instant marriage, just cast a belly dancer in your video. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be Let's Go Crazy here. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be Let's Go Crazy. It's such a fun song. It's a good one.
Ryan?
Yeah, this is, again, remind me again, what is it going up against? Let's Go Crazy.
Seven.
Let's Go Crazy against Seven. I think this could be close. You know, with the contingent, the 90s contingent that is Pop Tournaments, I think it could be close. I know that there's a lot of love for Seven. So
I love Seven.
I think it could be close, but you know, when you look at the vote totals from round 1, Let's Go Crazy I think was second only to Purple Rain. In just overall votes. So I think that's the smart money's got to be on Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah, I think so, and it's, I don't know, like you said, there's that 90s contingent. It the weird thing, or I should say interesting thing to me, when I was kind of doing a deeper dive on Let's Go Crazy, is one article I read described the opening as a eulogy to life. You know, the dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called. And I thought eulogy was a weird word. I think of it more as like, you know, when you hear the dearly beloved at a wedding or something
right,
like
that's
that.
how
you know,
I always
we're
thought
gathered,
about it.
But also, you know, nowadays we don't refer to them as funerals. We refer to them as celebrations of life. So it kind of like put that whole opening in a new mindset for me when I read that, and just kind of gave me a new perspective. But
I suppose it does mention. I suppose it does mention the afterworld.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just one of those, you know, things that makes you look at it a little different. And I love Seven, but yeah, I think I'm probably going to split my vote, and I think Let's Go Crazy moves on, making this an extremely, extremely interesting Elite Eight. If what we talked about all comes to fruition, but. Absolutely, who knows? There was a couple of surprises in the first round, and things that I thought would be closer and weren't. So, yeah, it's been a fun tournament so far. It stopped me if I did mention this on a previous episode, but I recently found some old 35 millimeter negatives. Did I say this last week, Ryan?
I don't think so.
No, or 2 weeks ago. So, real quick Prince story. The first time I technically ever saw him live, it was 1999, and for some reason I was super into Buckcherry. Buckcherry, and they had never toured and come through Minnesota, and they were supposed to be, or they were announced as the opening band on the entire Lenny Kravitz tour when he had that song "Fly," "American Woman," and so I bought tickets. I had this was right before senior year of high school. I had all this extra money, and so I went and stood in line again, standing in line, bought tickets, and ended up in the second row at the Target Center.
Wow!
And seated, these were seated seats. No, it wasn't open floor, so I was. Second row at the Target Center for Lenny Kravitz. We get to the show. Buckcherry is skipping the opening date of this tour.
No.
Trust me, blessing in disguise. Unfortunately, the other opening band was Smash Mouth. So I have unfortunately seen Smash Mouth. But Lenny Kravitz comes out and puts on this absolutely amazing, incredible show. And I had actually, so at the time I was working in a 1-hour photo lab, and I had snuck one of those disposable cameras in. You weren't supposed to have cameras at the show. And I have a feeling I know why. And I also snuck in one of those mini cassette recorders, if you remember those old like journalism mini cassette recorders.
Like a dictaphone?
The recording is terrible, but it does exist, and I found that also. But I found these 35 millimeter negatives. What ended up happening that night is the last song of the night, he played "Fly," was the big hit, and as the second chorus was hitting, all of a sudden you see this red velvet just float out onto the stage from stage left, and there's Prince. He's literally wearing it's essentially a red dress, and he's got the purple Prince symbol guitar, and just fucking wailing and going crazy. Plays for about like a minute and a half, and then literally floats back off stage.
Amazing.
I was able to snap a couple of pictures, so hopefully by next week's episode I'll get them redeveloped. And that was I've so technically seen Prince 3 times. That was my
you had me totally shook. I thought this was going in the direction of a Lenny Kravitz penis story.
I was hoping we would see Lenny Kravitz's penis in this story, but then I like that surprise ending. So
that was definitely more appropriate to
it was
to the subject of the podcast.
you didn't let me finish as the song.
I was looking through the negatives, and I noticed I didn't notice during the concert, but his penis was out during the entire show.
No, the cymbals, their cymbals were crashing. You know, they were wrapping it up. He's like, "Thank you, Minneapolis. That was Prince, and this is the king."
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So wow, it ended just as weird as it started.
Yep. How it started, how it's going. Still.
Yeah.
We are the living embodiment of a Twitter meme. I love it. I'm okay with that. You know, this is the universe's podcast.
Speaking of Twitter memes, I was just imagining when you were talking about Prince leaving the stage, that Homer Simpson meme going back into the bushes.
Yeah.
Essentially what it was. They had bushes sitting stage left,
Yep.
and he just floated back into them. Oh boy, man! There's going to be a lot of titles for this episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for me. Sorry, I went off the rails there a little bit with a random story, but last thing also, Jen, I know you've got your vaccine.
I did.
I just got the word that my parents have gotten both their first shots.
Awesome.
So I want to encourage any of the thousands of listeners out there to get your vaccine also.
Yes.
I'm on a bunch of lists.
I got my
trying
first.
to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You got your first. You right
Yep.
on, man. So excited. We're getting. Let's not celebrate at the 5-yard line.
You're right. Yes.
Let's get this done and get back to seeing everybody, and who knows what might happen. Maybe we'll do a live episode when that can happen.
Yeah.
A live viewing of The Last Dragon in Jenny's backyard on the projector.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. Jen. Oh, Ryan.
Sorry.
Ryan.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, no,
if there's anything
Jen, you
else.
got anything?
I got nothing.
I just had one more
April.
thing I forgot to mention earlier.
Yeah.
We also watched the movie Bad Trip, which wasn't mind-blowing,
right. Mm-hmm.
but if you're looking for something that's like a fun, tight 90 minutes and you're just looking to laugh and there's no kids around and no parents around. Yep. It's on Netflix.
Couldn't remember the
Awesome.
title, and I was just about to ask you, is that the Eric Andre one that I'm looking... And also, speaking of funny things, I'm going to get the... I can never pronounce his last name.
Kaluuya?
Daniel
Kaluuya. Yeah.
Kaluuya was hilarious. on
I've only
Saturday Night Live,
watched
so
through Weekend
we won't do
Update
a
so
full
far,
review.
so I'm excited to watch the end. Weekend Update was great,
yeah.
though. My
Always
favorite
fun.
joke was when he said, like, last Wednesday was National Peanut Butter Day and National Ferret Day, and to celebrate, I did a very dangerous trick.
Always
Yeah.
classy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. Jen, we're so happy to have you back. It
Happy
was
to be
so
back.
much fun. I'm excited about the next round of this tournament. So, yeah, for everybody out there in the Pop Tournaments universe, PTU, patent pending, please keep on voting and keep on popping.
Pop, pop.
Bye, friends.
See ya.